saw an advertisement for potato milk recently. Is a milk made from potatoes. Why? Can we stop remaking milk? Can we all agree on that for a second? Like at first it was innovative, right? Like the almond milk, the cashew milk, but now it just feels like the Star Wars franchise. It's like they made another one? Are you serious? Like, come on. Potato milk. Who is that for? Do people want that? Has anyone ever drunk milk and thought to themselves, damn, you know what this would be better if it tasted like French fries? Like, salty? And I'm all for, diverse amount of drinks, varied amount of drinks, but it feels like that they're making all of these plant-based milks just to make it feel bad if you don't, drink them, right? Like I overheard this, someone said, you don't drink oat milk, we're done. They walked away, they ended a relationship because someone didn't drink oat milk. That's what bullying is gonna be in the future, I'm guaranteeing it, okay? It's gonna be people in 4th grade and they're like, do you hear Max eats his Lucky Charms with whole milk? What a slut. Like, I'm not ready to have kids in this world, that's tough, And I don't know, alternative milk is whack. It's so weird. Almond milk? Who made that? Like, okay, we can all agree that the person who milked the first cow was a very weird guy, right? But who looked at an almond and went, we should milk this shit? Like, that's criminal. Like, that's insane. I just don't get it. We don't need more milk. What about like cancer research? We forgot about what's important? Like, all the funding is going to milk. Cancer is still ruining lives. This is taking a weird turn, but bear with me for a second, okay? All right, cancer, listen, I just thought about this recently. I thought if we just stopped making shit for a year, we could probably, and put all the resources towards cancer research, we could probably solve cancer, right? Like, we could find the cure of cancer if we just skipped one generation of iPhone, right? Right? Because I always see all of these things that are these unnecessary improvements and stuff. Like, realistically, how many different scents of Old Spice do we need? Do we need a new one every year? It doesn't fucking make sense to me. Let's solve cancer. And I know some of you might be thinking, Cooper, that's not how that works. It's not a transferable skill, someone who makes deodorant to, solve, the problem of cancer. But, you don't know that, right? There were janitors in the NBA. Great people come from everywhere. I feel like they make a new TikTok dance every day. Someone has a solution, surely. Let's get Addison Rae on the cancer research team. Maybe you can do one of these on them, throw it back on some tumors. I don't know. Wouldn't that be kind of funny if somehow Addison Rae throwing it back, that was the cure to cancer? Addison, we need you to twerk on another kid. He's dying to meet you, literally. Okay, because we have a lot of people, I'm gonna cut it short right there. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming. It's we have a lot of great people coming up.
All right, so I'm Cam. I'm a junior here at Purdue. And yeah, as Cooper mentioned, this is my first time doing stand-up. So if you wouldn't mind being nice, I would appreciate it. Thank you. So I actually recently told my parents I was in stand-up club, and I will never forget the look they gave me. It wasn't disappointment, but it was kind of like they wished I was doing drugs. It was like on one hand we had Purdue Stand-Up Comedy Club, and on the other we had Black Tar, and there wasn't a clear winner, which is weird. It's just weird stuff. Does anyone here know how the boomerang was invented? Anyone? All right, yeah, me neither. Crazy. But I have a theory. So, I feel like it was just a really shitty carpenter. This dude broke his 4th chair of the day, just picked up the leg. Damn it! Might be onto something. I don't know, and then it's all he could think about, it just kept circling his thoughts, Does anyone here know the difference between a boomerang and a father? A boomerang will come back for you at the park. Thank you for laughing at that one. Speaking of kids at parks, is anyone here a fan of pedophiles? No, wrong fucking answer. No. Who here is anti-pedophile? All right, thank you. All right, so these next jokes are gonna go great. All right, so I've been thinking about pedophiles a lot recently. Not as like a backup career plan. It's more of just like a how do we reintegrate them like into society. And I have like a few jobs that I think might work, but like there's just some jobs that I don't feel comfortable with a pedophile having. Like one of those is just like, I don't know, working in the Catholic Church. Like that's like not gone well before. But I have a few that I think might be good. The first one is a naked rodeo clown. Oftentimes when I'm at a rodeo, you know, like a Republican, I think to myself, wow, this rodeo clown is a little too confident and way too clothed. Personally, I would like to see buck-ass naked Lester out there get absolutely pummeled, because I too like to root for the bull. Like, I don't know about you guys. But I feel like there's like other jobs in the rodeo like that would work. Like even like the bull rider, like I think would be decent. Like just say like the meanest, biggest bull, just strap him on. Like as you're doing it, he's shaking. He's like, hey, like this thing like definitely doesn't want me on it. It's like, well, that hasn't stopped you before, now has it? And I feel like another decent one might be a roller coaster tester. It's like, can the human body withstand 17 loop-de-loops in a row? It's like, we're sure as hell about to find out. There's a theme here, if you guys can't tell. Pretty anti-pedophile. And this last one is my favorite, I'll be honest. I've put a lot of thought into it, and it's human speed bump. And like now that I say it out loud, like I don't know if people would like speed up or slow down, but like we can figure that out like when we get there. But here's the reasoning. Is these pedophiles have spent their entire lives slowing down for school zones. It's time they start giving back to the community. Anyway, that's all I have. Thank you very much. You guys are awesome.
Let's go, JT.
Hell yeah. Hang on. Gotta figure out how this thing works. Okay. Speaking of pedophiles, I am not one. However, my ex-girlfriend was 4'11", and that meant every time she would go down on me, I could never 69. I would crane my neck, and it never quite worked out. Speaking of short things, that's going to be my set. I'm just going to tell a joke about boobies, another thing. Go on. But yeah, so I actually had a crush on a girl junior year of high school, and she fucking hated me, like with everything in her body. But for some reason, one night she got very drunk and said, you know what, I would still kiss you. I guess you're ugly enough for me to kiss you, but not to fuck you. That's fine. So she comes over to my house, and you know, one thing leads to another, and she is on top of me, and I have her boobies in my hands, and I look her dead in the eyes, and I squeeze simultaneously, and I go, honk, honk. And she left my house. Like, I never spoke to her again. I've never seen this girl. She actually, I don't know why I went to Purdue. She goes here, as well as the 4'11" ex-girlfriend. I don't know why I'm here, frankly. I actually, recently, my girlfriend, current girlfriend, found out that my sleep paralysis demon is George Lopez. She found this out because I was telling her about my childhood trauma, where when my parents were going through a divorce, I would fall asleep to Nick at Night, and for those of you that don't know, George Lopez had a show on Nick at Night, and it would play Lowrider by War. That was at the same time I was getting night terrors. So I would fall asleep at night to George Lopez, and then when I grew out of my night terrors, I started getting sleep paralysis at around 14 years old, and at the foot of my bed, I can't move. It's dark, but I can make out George Lopez in my doorframe, and Lowrider is playing. And my current girlfriend found that out because one night I fell asleep and she couldn't wake me up, so she had to leave. She had to go home. And it ended up really upsetting her. She said, you know, I would prefer either to sleep over or if I could actually wake you up. You sleep like a fucking log. And I said, okay. And then later on, I discussed the George Lopez thing with her, and she found out that if you play Lowrider, it brought back my night terrors. So she actually started playing Lowrider, and I was in the deepest of REM sleep. And I just hear the fucking, like, jingle in the background. And I just jolt awake. And the moment he goes Lowrider, I wake up, and I'm like, oh, fuck! Get out! And I swear to God, for a brief moment in the like veil of being asleep and being awake, I saw a flash of that motherfucker George Lopez at the end of my bed. Anyways, that was pretty much it, guys. Thank you. You guys are nice. I'll see you guys later.
It's days like this that make me wish I never left the SAC. I got in a fight with my roommate this morning because he lives like a pig. And I was really trying to get him to clean it. And he said to me, Jacob, if you care so much, just do it yourself. And that kind of caught me off guard because that's exactly what my ex-girlfriend used to say whenever I'd tell her to put a finger in my butt. Yeah, she's actually recently my ex, and you know, you can point fingers all day, but she did one thing that really just got on my nerves. She would start conversations with me by saying, Jacob, are you even listening to me? I don't understand why that's your opener, but okay. Being single has made me realize that I'm really not that good with the ladies. Not as bad as that last guy, but I'm not good. So I got one of those sex robots, you know the kind, like full height, fake skin, toes, you know, the whole 9 yards. And I was shocked with how realistic this thing was because I couldn't figure out how to turn the robot on either. So also just like real sex, I invited my friend over and he turned it on way better than I ever could, so. Just goes to show you, I don't even have to be in a relationship to get cucked. Oh man. Maybe my favorite thing about the robot though is that the limbs come off for storage for 2 reasons. I think there's something poetic about unscrewing a sex robot. Second thing, I want to try this. I want to take off a hand or something, just cover it in ketchup, put it in the fridge, wait for one of my roommates to find it. I don't know, maybe it wouldn't actually be that funny. It'd probably only be like the 4th weirdest thing that's been in my fridge. I think the weirdest thing that was in my fridge was probably the bull semen. My roommate was doing some ag research and he got stuck with 150 milliliters of just straight nut. And I only learned that after I put it on my BLT. Still better than the Earhart food though. Oh man. My little brother told me this story last time I was home visiting. He is 11 years old, he's in 5th grade, and apparently he is just a pussy magnet. He said that a girl in his class paid him $10 to give him a hug. I won't even spend $10 on food, like, but apparently the experience got him thinking. He wants to turn it into a business, okay? He's gonna take reservations. He's gonna charge more for longer hugs. He's gonna have different rates if he gets to stand there and take the hug or if he actually has to participate, you know? And I'm sitting here listening to this and I'm just cracking up. But I want to push on him a little bit, you know? So I say, well, what happens when you get too many reservations to handle? And the gears were turning in his head, you know, and he's thinking hard about it. And this was maybe the proudest moment I've had as a brother. He said, oh, I've got it. I'll just have my friends give the hugs and I'll take a percentage. He wants to be a pimp and he doesn't even know it. He's 11 years old. Oh man. Speaking of child sex, no, okay, I met this girl. No. Let me finish. And she was not very smart, okay? Maybe an elementary ed major or something, I don't know. But she didn't understand the concept of a V card as like a metaphor. And so I guess she thought that it was a real physical card that they would like hand out at birth. So she was confused as to like why she didn't have one, because if you'd ask her about her V card, she'd tell you she lost it when she was too young to remember. Thank you guys.
Last time I went to church, I punched a child. Fucker had it coming. But my hometown had more churches than fast food places, so I wasn't exactly strapped for options. And you know, when there's so many churches in like one place, there's just got to be some haunted shit. It's just, you know, for every yin there is yang, for every cross there is a evil haunted gas station. There are two places in my hometown that are very distinctly haunted. One of them is a cabinet factory, which sounds like a joke in and of itself. Like, that's where philosophy majors go to work. But the cabinet factory, that's like Scooby-Doo level of haunted. Like the great-great-grandson of the owner of the cabinet factory knows that there's some hidden treasure under said cabinet factory, so he's trying to scare everyone out of the cabinet factory to get the buried treasure. You know, we've all been there. It's happened to the best of us. The other place that's very definitely haunted is this business. It's called the Burger Dairy. Now, audience, I would like you all to guess, what type of business is the Burger Dairy? You're so stupid. It's a gas station. It's a gas station where you can buy milk, mustard, and toothpaste. There are only ever 2 lights on, and there is no burger product. The gas rates never change, the lawn is never cut, and I've met the ghost that haunts the Burger Dairy. Yeah. It's like she takes the form of a 30-year-old woman who never got out of her grunge phase. And she said, weirdest fucking thing, she talks to you, man. Right? I go up to the counter. That'll be 11:37. We don't ID here. Would you like to buy some mustard? And at this point, I'd much rather deal with ghosts than I would like physical customers. I worked at a Dairy Queen for 2 years. Any other retail or customer service teenage jobs? Yeah. You meet the weirdest people when you work in those jobs, right? Like, at no other point in my life was I obsessed with like the mental status of so many mothers. Like, oh, I hope Jolene's okay. I hope she's gonna come in today. The worst people to work with, though, were these 2 kids who wanted to be cops. Because they'd always say dumb shit. Like, you know, we're getting slammed in ice cream, and one of them's like, cover me, I need to get M&Ms! Then he'd run into the back doing his stupid little army hustle. But my biggest motivator, I met him at Dairy Queen because he's just like a complete failure of a man. We'll call him Larry, all right? Let me go through all the spectacular things about Larry, all right? Larry has a shoe collection. Larry is balding. He constantly wears matching checkerboard Vans and fanny pack. He has worked at Dairy Queen for a decade. He's a homeschool dropout. He lives with his parents, and yes, ladies, he's single. Incredibly inspiring individual. I don't understand what it is about working in food service that makes grown adults yell at children. I got, like, a dude nearly tried to kiss me one time because I put lettuce on his sandwich. Not like a passionate kiss, like this was gonna have, like, angry tongue. And I ring up his sandwich. Do you want lettuce on that, sir? Yes. I bring out his sandwich. Excuse me, son. There's lettuce on this. Like you ordered, sir. Then, he tried to kiss me. What can I say? I just have a very kissable lips. I have big lips. I don't know why I have such big lips. I've been told that you could land a Boeing 747 on them, which is really good because I'm in the aviation learning community, even though I'm not in aviation. Thank you so much.
Hello. You ever heard someone say, like, I don't want Mexican food because I had Mexican last night? Do you think they say that shit in Mexico? It's like, hey, where do you want to eat? Not in this country anymore. Fuck. It's like at like Border Patrol like stops a bunch of people coming through the border. It's like, what? Are you trying to steal our jobs? It's like, no, I just wanted mac and cheese pizza. Please let me in. I left my entire family for that circle of carbs. The best Snapchat I ever received was from my friend Thomas. He was on an airplane and he took a picture of the woman in the airplane safety instructional video and he captioned it, "I don't give a shit. I'll shit on this bitch's tits." There's a lot to unpack there, I feel like. First off, I like how he said it as if like someone was telling him not to do that. It's like, Thomas, no, she has a father. It's like, I don't give a shit. On this bitch's tits, I shall shit. It's like... Also, he had to make it rhyme to make it like more palatable for like a general audience. Like if someone came up to you and was just like, hey, I don't care. I'm gonna poop on her nipples. You'd be like, the fuck is this guy talking about right now? Are you insane? But this guy just comes up and says, I don't give a shit. I'll shit on this bitch's tits. You'd be like, weird, but bars. Bars nonetheless. Also, it's like, I don't give a shit. Of course you don't give a shit. I feel like if you're already pooping on someone's chest, you are not the most caring individual. Because what would that look like? Like, so, tell me about your parents. Do you want some water? Either to drink or to shower in? It's like, I'm an econ major, which is okay, but like, whenever I'm doing bad in school, like I'm not doing too well in class, I don't want to be reminded about economics in general. Like the other week, I saw like an article about the economy, and I had to like avert my eyes, like, oh fuck, stop, no. It was like watching a sex scene with my parents. It's like, what are they doing? I've never seen that before. What is that? No, it's like, I don't know. I walk into like a store and I buy some shit, and the cashier's just like, that'll be $22.50. I'm like, oh fuck, money exists. Damn it. Can I just trade it for sex? Can this be like a barter economy? No. I feel that makes me wonder, like, do other majors go through that sort of process? Like, do architecture majors just wake up in a house and go, oh no? I have to calculate the stability of these walls that are closing in on me. Like, do animal science majors just like abandon their pets? Just like an Air Bud, it's just like, go on buddy, get out of here. I have a D- in Calc 1, get. Are aerospace majors glad 9/11 happened? It's like, yes, destroy those planes. Get rid of those planes. So on that note, I'm gonna end it right there. You guys have been great, thank you.
What the fuck is up, man? What's going on? You know, sometimes I'm way too nice. Like, way too nice. Almost to a fault. Like, I'm the type of nigga that'll let people fuck up my order, and I'll still eat it. Because, you know, I don't like to make a fuss or anything like that. It's like, sure, I didn't order mustard on these pancakes, but I'll make it work. Yeah, dude, but I'm way too nice. Like, the other day, my coworker, he offered to give me a ride home, right? And I already had a ride home, but you know, I was like, fuck it. What's the worst that could happen? This ride was fucking hell. So it starts off, normal day, you know, the regular coworker banter bullshit. He's telling me about how he wants to go out of town, and he needs to get his car fixed and shit like that. And you know, I'm letting it go through one and out the other. I'm like, yeah, all right, you know, that's what's up, man. Because it's the regular bullshit no one really cares about. It's just to pass the day. And then I'm ignoring all the signs. It's just like a scary movie at this point, right? I'm ignoring all the signs. So he starts talking to another coworker. He's like describing his car problems. He's like, yeah, it's like something with the front axle or something like that, and it doesn't ride right. And I can feel it whenever I go to over 20 miles an hour. And I'm like, that's odd. But I mean, he couldn't be that bad because the guy got here all right. He got here safe in one piece of shit. So later on in the day, I forget all that shit he was talking about his car. And he asked me, he's like, do you want to ride home? So I say, you know, fuck it, why not? We're going the same direction. Seems like a good guy. Turns out this guy isn't the brightest. But I didn't know that shit until after I took the ride. So we go out there, right? And we get in the car, and he starts to drive, and boom. Immediately, I feel that shit. His car rides like a top at the end of its fucking spin, dude. I mean, it's wobbly as shit, and I'm feeling it. Anybody in their right fucking mind would be like, all right, no thank you. Thank you for the ride, but I don't want to ride in this shit. But me, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give this guy a chance. It's a straight shot, it's only 10 minutes. It couldn't be that bad of a drive. So the car starts to drive, right? And he pulls off, and he's going about 15 miles per hour. And the shit feels like a fucking massage chair. I mean, dude, it's fucking vroom, 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 vroom. And I can feel it shooting up and down my fucking spine. And the people at red lights can hear the shit, so they're looking at us when we pause and shit. Dude, it's insane. And at this point, I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I do need a seatbelt for this ride. So I decide to buckle my shit up, and it's not going in the fucking lock. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck's going on? And he looks over to me and says, hey, no, don't worry about that, bro. I said, my nigga, what are you talking about? He said, no, don't worry about that, bro. That shit don't work. Nigga, the seatbelt don't work? So at this point, I'm like, fuck it, like, it's only 10 minutes, straight shot. So I'm sitting there holding the seatbelt across my chest like this, with all my fucking might, sitting there praying, tricep press, don't fail me now, damn it. But later on, I realized that shit's not gonna save me if we crash, so I give it up. So later on the ride, he's going, and he starts to go about like 35 miles per hour. No, 35 miles per hour isn't that fast. That shit was the speed limit at the time. But under the circumstances, that shit felt like we were going 90 in a school zone. So dude, he starts to drive, he's driving 35 miles per hour, and I could feel each and every time the tire goes in a full circle. I mean, the shit's shooting up and down my body, it's especially when he makes right turns. The shit is fucking scary, man. So I'm like, all right, halfway through this ride, it couldn't be that fucking bad. He has no more surprises. And we're driving, and we're driving. And he looks over to me, he says, hey bro, did I tell you that I rap? I'm like, nah, man, I don't think you did. He's like, hold up, give me a second. So this nigga pulls out his phone and starts scrolling to find his song. And he's just looking at his phone. He's not even looking at the road anymore. He's looking at his phone, scrolling to find his song. And I'm like, my nigga, like, I'm convinced he's trying to kill me. Like, there's just no fucking way. So he's scrolling at his phone and shit like that. And I've seen people use their phone to drive before. And usually the ratio is at least 60% road, 40% phone. This nigga's ratio was like 90% phone, 10% road. So I'm sitting there like, what the fuck is going on, man? And he finally finds a song, and he starts to play it, and I'm like, thank God, he can look at the fucking road. And the song starts to play, and he's looking at the road, and he looks to me. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck does this guy want? And he's looking at me, and he starts rapping along the lyrics to the song that's already recorded. And he's looking at me for fucking approval. And he's driving, and he's just sitting there looking at me, and he's rapping along. Every time he thinks he's spitting some hot shit, he's looking at me like, yeah, you fuck with that nigga, you fuck with that shit right there. And I'm just trying to get him to look at the road. So I'm like, yeah, I fuck with that shit, my nigga, I fuck with that shit. Man, so this shit is scary as hell, dude. But I finally make it home. Finally. I finally get home. I get in there, and he's like, hey, bro, we should do this again. You're a cool ass nigga. I'm like, yeah, all right. Never doing that shit again, ever. I made it home safely, but I know in some sick and twisted way, in another universe, on some Marvel What If shit, I'll be sitting there smoking a blunt with Paul Walker in heaven. Thank you for having me. I go by the name of Franko.
Let's go, Franko!
Eager to get away from me. How are we doing, Cleveland, tonight? Yeah, all right. Well, last time I did the show, I opened with, okay, you guys don't need to be that enthusiastic, but this is a lot more accurate. And that makes sense, and you remember me because I'm great. Americans have a bit of an ego problem, unrelated note. And I know about this because I speak Chinese, and here's why. Have you ever been sitting in a line and lost nothing to go? You took 6 years of Chinese in high school, but you're white as a bagel. So, no one knows that. No one assumes that right off the bat. And you hear two people behind you speaking Chinese talking about how slow the people up front are. Like, what am I supposed to do? Just turn around and be like, I'm not slow. I'm going as fast as I can. I'm a fast boy. I'm a fast American. Because then I reveal my secret. So am I supposed to just turn around and go, no, Because what do I say? I say I speak Chinese, and they're like, I don't care. Yeah, you heard me talking shit. Now, mind you, I'm going to say everything they say is accurate. Everything I've ever heard a Chinese international student here say is completely true. It's usually about that we're overweight, which, Does anyone here speak Chinese, out of curiosity?
Woo!
Woo!
Like 3 people.
And so, I don't say to these lost and on-the-go girls that I speak Chinese, because I get to the front of the line, she drops her wallet, and I go, here you go. She says, thank you, and I say, 不用谢. I speak Chinese back to her, and she freezes for a moment. She looks at her wallet, and she looks back at me, she looks at her wallet, like the wallet has some fucking answer on it, and she looks back at me. Do you speak Chinese? And we had a good laugh about it, but we usually don't. When I was 14, I went to a Mid-Autumn Festival event where we do these little games for the kids. They all spoke Chinese, and we all spoke Chinese. And I'm running the jump rope event, which, all fun and games until a 16-year-old walks up to you who's like 6'4" and says, want to jump rope? All right. And I have to think about it. No, wait, he's that tall, and so that's gonna whack him in the head. No, you can't do jump rope. I want to jump rope. Bro, you're 16. Do your homework. What are you doing? And he's so mad at me. He leaves and he tells me to kill myself in Chinese. And I turn to him and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? There are kids here who also speak Chinese. And he's like, you speak Chinese? Yeah. Nice. He's blown away. And so he leaves. And that's the good and the bad. And here's the ugly. I used to work at King Bao, represent Orlando, woot woot. And I used to clean tables for minimum wage, actually below minimum wage. They were paying me illegally, but the IRS never found out, so everyone really won in the end. Okay, and so I'm wiping off a table. There are these two Chinese girls who are probably like 20 to 30 because... And so I'm wiping off behind them, and I hear them say, da ma pi. I have very limited Chinese, okay? I know that ma pi means horse ass. And I know that da means one of two things, because my tones are really bad. It either means big or hit. So they either said that I had some dummy thick cheeks while I was cleaning off that table, or they were gonna smack me. So I turn around, wobble, wobble, clap, clap. Did you say something about my ass? Why did I say it like that? They look at me, they're eating their food. My manager's sitting over there like, and they just look at me as like, I didn't say anything about your ass, weirdo. And so I go back to it, and they say it again. They were mocking me. They knew that I spoke Chinese, and they were trying to fuck with me. I was being gaslit in a restaurant, and I was getting paid $8 an hour. Either way, so I hear that, and I turn back around. Like, you were definitely saying something. No, we're not saying anything. And I'm mad, and I leave, and I ask my Chinese teacher, like, what are they saying? Was I just double-cheeked? I know I have a minute left. I'm talking about my ass, Cooper. Am I just double-cheeked, like, dummy thick? And so I ask her that, with those words exactly, and she's, thank you, and she says, no, they said da like hit. It means like you're a kiss ass, like you're a brown nose, you pat the horse's ass. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh, that's a bit better. Wait, were they calling me a kiss ass because I was working like a minimum wage job? That's such a fucking weird thing to do. Your manager walks up to you, hey, could you clean the tables? Yeah. Fucking loser. Kiss ass. Little baby, little horse ass patter. That's what you are. So I wish it was because I was dummy thick. But in the end, I was just getting mocked for working minimum wage in Orlando. And honestly, that's a face worse than death, which also living in Orlando is probably up there. But the weather's cold here, so I like it. Anyway, if you see someone speaking Chinese, don't immediately assume they're talking, shit about you, because usually they're just making jokes to each other. But if you were really curious and you really want the drama, just learn Chinese. It's not that hard. Thank you.
How's everyone doing tonight?
Woo!
All right. Great crowd. So you all know how some high schools have like controversies and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like they got like pedo teachers and shit. Well, I got lucky. My superintendent just stole $70,000. So he just stole cold hard cash instead of kids' virginities. I mean, actually, let me take that back. He didn't steal cash. He
just stole shit. But anyways, yeah, so one night he just broke into one of the schools, which one really confuses me because it's like, you're a superintendent. Don't you have like a key or something? That's like the one part of your job that you actually are supposed to do is like, you know, just like walk around and look at the schools. Oh, yep, it's still there. It's still there. But no, he decided to break in, like dead at night, snuck in, Mission Impossible shit, dropped down from the ceiling, all that stuff. And then he took 4 textbooks and a calculator, $70,000 right there, and made away like a bandit. And actually, like a bandit, he got caught several hours later. So I don't know how he got caught, but I would like to imagine that this is how it went down. Like he was just caught like trading one of the textbooks for drugs and shit. So like it just goes like this, where his drug dealer is just like, hey, you got the money? Oh, I got something way better than money. What's that? Algebra. Oh yeah. But anyways, he was caught. He's in prison right now. Woo. Thank God. Another scumbag behind bars. I like to think this is how his first interaction with his cellmate was, where his cellmate's just like, "What are you in for?" I stole some shit from the school. What'd you steal? Calculator. What model? TI-30. Oh, you fucking idiot. You should have gone for the TI-84. Everyone knows that. It's a rookie mistake. But the one thing that really confuses me and doesn't make any sense about this is why you would steal a textbook. Like, why? That doesn't make any sense. You could just go to like LibGen and get that shit for free. That way he could have grabbed a second calculator. Anyways, that's all that I got for tonight. Thank you.
Oh, damn. I'm popular. Hi guys, I hope you can hear me, I hope you can understand me. That's the main thing. My name's Pranav, as he said just now. I'm from India, as you can probably tell. I have zero preparation for this. I literally wrote my set about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So this is gonna go well. So, yeah, so obviously I said I'm from India, and I came to this country in January. Now, Jan was, how do I call this, an eventful time for the United States, you know, it was, a lot of things were happening, you know, a lot of shocking things, like, you know, you guys had COVID, and like a couple of guys walked into your parliament and stuff, pretty bad. But what I, you know, as a caring individual was so shocked by was pickup trucks. What the hell is that? Like, seriously, it looks like a car had a boner or something like that. What the hell is a pickup truck? I mean, like if you think about it, like you just take like 5 seconds and think about it, pickup trucks make no sense. Like, see, for example, like, okay, I feel like America does this a lot, wherein like you guys have 2, you know, options, each with their pros and cons, and America makes a third option, which is just horrible in all possible ways. Like I'll give you the example of the pickup truck, right? So, you have a normal SUV, right? You know, the cars which can hold like 7 to 8 people. If you think about those cars, they're you know, they're pretty fuel efficient. You can hold like 7 to 8 people in them, and you know, say you need to store things. You know, I need to carry box and stuff. I just fold the seats over, put my shit in, and I'm done, right? It's a beautiful car, fuel efficient. It goes quick. It's quiet. Wonderful machines. But you know, that doesn't work for everybody. Some people have a lot of, you know, big machinery to carry around. They have trailers to load, stuff like that. For them, you have a semi-truck. You know, you can like carry stuff in that. It has a lot of power. It's a strong machine. but obviously, you know, it's a little fuel inefficient and it's not very, I guess, ideal for city driving. What did America choose? Let's go with the pickup truck. What can the pickup truck do? Well, is it fuel efficient? No. It drinks petrol more than Americans drink Gatorade. Okay, how about that? Okay, fine, that's fine. Is it like, you know, really quick? No, you could probably race it in like a cycle, but it's fine. Okay, fine, you know, that's all right, that happens. Okay, can you hold out, like, a lot of people go in the pickup truck? No, 2 is your limit. Any more than 2 and you're basically a criminal. Okay, fine, let's leave that. Okay, what about the most important thing? Can it hold stuff? Can I carry a lot of stuff with it? Yeah, so you can carry a lot of stuff with it, but like, you know, if you put too many boxes in the back of the trunk, it'll all just fall out. So, well, yeah, you can't do anything. Okay, fine. I get it. You know, it's okay, but like, okay, fine. So what can I use it for? What can I use a pickup truck for? Well, what you can do is, like, you can put like a TV inside and like all your barbecue stuff and like all those other equipment, and then you can like go drive from your house all the way to a stadium parking lot, okay? And then you can like put up your TV, take a chair down, and watch the football game in your bloody truck. Just a suggestion next time, why don't you park your car, get out, walk to the stadium, buy the ticket, and watch the game inside the bloody stadium. Why do you guys tailgate? But yeah, that's not the only thing, right? So you guys have pickup trucks. Another place where I'd say America made their own horrible third choice was how to wipe your ass. So you have the traditional bidet, which is used in a lot of countries, including India. It's basically you spray a bunch of water up your ass. I mean, not up your ass, but you use it to clean the thing. Okay, that's a pretty good idea. All right, but what's the other option? Well, you could use a cloth, but you know, that's very unhygienic and like it's dirty and it's pretty bad, you know, it wastes a lot of water. What does America pick? Let's take toilet paper, guys. The stuff you write on, yeah, let's use that to wipe our ass. That should work, yeah. Okay, but like, does it have any actual benefits? No, it wastes a lot of water. It doesn't clean very well, it's very unhygienic. Oh yeah, you can like write a new word on the toilet paper, and then while you're wiping your ass, you can also learn vocabulary. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm trashing America about, you know, oh, you guys are making a third horrible decision. It's just such a bad thing. I'm also made my own third horrible choices in life. For example, when it came to college, I could have chosen to study in India and study in India, you know, get a cheap education, but an okay education. Or I could have worked really hard, paid a lot of money, and gone to Oxford or Cambridge and got a really good education there. What I chose was to not do anything at all, come to the US, come to Purdue, pay a lot of money, and learn about nothing. That's been my time, guys. Thank you.
Hello. All right. So, like you said, it's my first time doing stand-up, so I'm nervous as shit. Good news is I haven't pissed myself yet, so that's usually a good sign. A little about me is that I have 5 brothers, and I'm from the great state of Vermont. Now, if you don't know where or what that is, I'm not surprised, because me and my 5 brothers make up half the population of that state. But I'm gonna be honest, having 5 brothers has its perks, okay? The doctor told me when I was like 8 that I was gonna be 5'9". As you can tell, I'm not 5'9", I'm 5'6". I attribute that to the fact that I probably got hit in the head enough times that I kind of like shrunk me down a little bit. But on a more serious note, I know some great positions to take when getting beat by men in my life. So, ladies, hit me up. Yeah, I thought that joke would hit. So, my family's a bunch of sarcastic assholes. And if you've ever had a conversation with me, you probably have been shamed for like something really small you said, something stupid. And I wanted to say that I'm sorry, but you probably deserved it. But back to my family. We like to play a lot of pranks on each other, and one of our best ongoing pranks to date is we have like this 5 or 6 inch or so butt plug that we like to hide for each other. Some acceptable names for this game is called Find the Flesh, Hide the Heiny Plug, Discover the butt cover, and holy shit, a butt plug just fell out of my backpack at school. I say this game was a fun, but most of the time it was just my family making my life hard. I don't blame them though. It's a lot of fun. The time that ended up in my backpack at school, it was actually during wrestling practice. So I was the team captain. So I kind of just like ran around with the freshmen like, ooh, look at this butt plug. It's been in my ass. It's gonna go in yours too. One of the other funny things happened to me is that one morning I woke up and they you can take your door handle out of your door. They replaced my door handle with the butt plug. So like every time I wanted to get out of my room, I had to give it a handy in the morning before I left. And another good prank was during lockdown. So my older brothers came home because I have 5 brothers, as I said that. All my brothers home, so we had a full house. So I had to park my car on the street. And I live in a pretty suburban, full neighborhood. And so, COVID started, everyone, all these families walking around with their children. And I woke up one morning with the butt plug, Gorilla Glue tape, whatever that is, to my hood of my car, my 08 black Nissan Sentra. Protruded right out the front, really obvious. And so you can imagine my embarrassment when I get up there and I find that a butt plug is taped to the hood of my car. And all these families have walked by and seen it already. But now I gotta go out there and I gotta pry this shit off my hood of my car. And I'm sitting there, I'm pulling it off, I'm trying to take this tape off, and there's residue shit in my car, my hands are all sticky. And this old lady's walking her 2 dogs, and we just make eye contact. She didn't say a word to me, but the silence just killed me. As you can imagine, I will be traumatized for the rest of my life because of that. So I don't know what's the normal number of weird or bad bathroom experiences to have, but I definitely have a lot. Do I have any wrestlers in the crowd?
Woo!
Yeah. So you guys know what I'm talking about when you talk about wrestling locker rooms during tournaments? Yeah, they're fucked up. So it's pretty weird because you walk in, and on one side of the room is some crying kid who just lost his match, beat the shit out of a locker. And then as you're walking outside the door, there's that kid from that town making out with a girl who looks somewhere between his first cousin and his sister. and then out in the showers, you get that team that was all knocked out first round, and they're giving each other prostate exams in the fucking showers. So at wrestling tournaments, it's a hard rule, or at least for me and my team, I made a hard rule where it was you gotta go in with a buddy, or else you will be on the receiving end of any one or all 3 of those situations. Thank you. Have a great night.
What's going on, everybody? Can't really see any of you.
I can see you. What you looking at, cuz?
Light keeps changing on the top floor up there. You see that? You think they're fucking up there? Yeah, baby, you like green? Yeah, I do. You're gonna love this. Hey, are you fucking love blue? Yeah, blue's alright. How you guys doing? You guys alright? Today was Breakfast Club. That threw me for a loop. Breakfast Club is a thing we made up so people can drink during the day. I went to work at 7 in the morning. There's people on the sidewalks dressed in onesies and pajamas. Yeah. You're supposed to wear a costume or something? I'm not really sure. Most guys, their idea of a costume is wearing a hat. With their shirt unbuttoned down the way. What does that mean? I haven't had very many positive bar experiences. The first time I went to a bar, I was confused. He asked for 2 forms of ID. So it's just me. It's one guy. Why do I need 2 forms of ID? If you don't like what my first ID says, you're gonna be very disappointed by the second one. Who the fuck are you anyway? 17th century French philosopher René Descartes? Here's a form of ID for you. I think, therefore I am. Let me in the goddamn bar. I had a friend who ordered a fake ID and it didn't come in until he was already 21. I told him what he should do. Go to the bar, they ask for 2 forms of ID, give him a real one and the fake one. Nobody can deny who you are, but they can arrest you. How do they know it's fake anyway? Do they go by the height and weight? Like, all right, let me see some ID. I'm gonna need you to stand on this scale over here to see if you're really 165. Look, you're looking a little heavy. No, I swear. Here, let me take my clothes off. I take my shoes off. Ah, you're not 5'10" either. Get on the fucking ground. Yeah. Selling shirts today. At the end of the show, we're selling shirts, by the way. Little plug for you. Yeah, I know people want these shirts because, you know, we had a comedy show at somebody's house. And this really drunk guy, tried to steal them from me. I just want to know how drunk people, like really drunk people, see themselves. Because I was standing right there, he took the armful and said, nobody can see me. Nobody sees me right now. I'm like, hey, John Cena, I see you. Put the shirts down, please. He was really drunk and really tall. I think I could take him. So I escalated the situation. I started insulting him. Just getting worse and worse. I ran out of ideas really quickly. Like, hey, you fucking idiot, put the shirts down. Hey, double circumcised knucklehead. Put the shirts down. He was getting really mad. And for a second I was like, oh fuck. Am I gonna have to fight this guy? Yeah. And I thought to myself, this guy's wasted on a Friday night. It's like 7 o'clock. This guy's fighting something within him already. Also, I've never been in a fight. I got scared. De-escalated the situation really quickly. But part of me thought it'd be funny if I just let him take the shirts home. Like, this was the shirt we were selling. We were trying to sell these shirts. I think it'd be funny if you take him home. Like, the next day he sobers up, he's wearing one of these shirts. He's like, oh, what the fuck is this? I've got 20 identical shirts. Fucking clip art and Comic Sans. All right, guys, rest in peace, Norm Macdonald. Thank you guys very much.
That was solid. That was so good.
Hey everyone, how are we doing tonight? There was like a second delay there. Some of y'all weren't sure. I was gonna tell this story about like eating fetuses. Okay, well that's fortunate because what happened today is I got stuck in the restroom for like 2 hours. Not in a good way. What happened is I had eaten at Ford, and then the thing that happens when you eat at Ford happened. So I'm like running to the bathroom.
Literally.
Thanks for fucking up my act out, mic stand. I'll just shuffle back awkwardly. And so I go and I sit down. I'm in the stall. I do my business, and then I hear. Let me tell you guys a bit of context for, you know, the way men use the bathroom. Some of you might need clues because you don't generally go.
Go Illini! Y'all lost.
I know.
There. Go back to your depressing skull.
Don't.
Get his ass. You can take him. Just sit on him.
Will, go after him.
Note the fact that he's going back to the sidewalk. He did that for no reason other than to fuck with the anxious guy in the juice box shirt. I hope you have a beautiful child that dies in your arms. You have to watch the light leave their fucking eyes. I hope that your parents, who have continued to fight to this fucking day, never, ever give you the fucking appreciation you're looking for. Because you clearly don't know how to do it. God, and he's riding a scooter. He paid $2 to do that. God damn. If I wanted to get humiliated, I'd just take my shirt off for free. What the fuck was I talking about? Oh yeah, men using the bathroom. Men are stunted little boys. And so when we go in the bathroom, it's just kind of like we're all business. We stare at the floor. We don't make eye contact. If someone does, we're like, and so, you know, we're very businesslike. So typically when something is off in a men's bathroom, you know. And I'm sitting in the bathroom and I hear these people walk in and I just hear this conversation. It's like, oh, hey, it's so nice to see you. How are you doing? Well, you know, if I'm being honest, I've had kind of a rough week. Things haven't been going so well for me. Some fucking chuckle fuck rode his scooter in front of me. Just not too good. It's like, I'm so sorry to hear that. Hey, tell you what, let's walk, I'll get you a milkshake, and maybe that'll help you feel better before your next class. And so I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, hang on, friendly conversation, emotional availability. These aren't men. I look next to me. There's a trash can in the stall. I'm not in the men's room. I'm like, oh, shit. And there's like 3 other people in here, so I'm like, okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna stealth it out. I'm gonna lower my head, and I'm just gonna, once it's empty, I'm just gonna dash out of here. And then I realize, I have to fucking nail this performance. So I look down, my pants are around my ankles. Shit, I'm wearing boxers! Okay, good, they can't see my men's underwear. What next? Oh God, I'm wearing socks and sandals. Okay, take the sock off, There, now I'm a normal human being. Get on the foot. Oh my God. Thank you, one guy who left. and then another woman walks in, and I just hear this very sad sigh. Am I out of Cooper? Come on, I get more time, right?
Minute.
I don't?
I said a minute.
Oh, I get another minute. Man, this sucked. I'm sorry, y'all. Can I just like take a rain check and blame that guy?
Yes.
Cool. Thanks for the low expectations, everybody.
So, you guys know what they say about people with small penises?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. You know what they say about people with big penises? I still wouldn't know. I was just scrolling through Twitter the other day. You know, I saw this tweet. It was like, big dick men stay quiet as fuck. Something like that. So, Sorry, I don't want to focus on my penis. Like, that's kind of a weird thing to talk about. But like, nobody's ever actually seen my penis. Never been in a relationship, never really pursued like a hookup or anything. Just think that's like kind of funny. But like, I don't know, I think I kind of should. Like, I think I'd be a really good boyfriend, you know? And if it came down to it, I think I'd be a pretty good dad too, you know? But that's kind of something I don't have to worry about. I don't talk about it often, but I may be temporarily infertile, actually. I have like this like rare like thing. I have like a varicocele on one of my testicles, right? So like I have like a low sperm count. So like I guess like any ladies like interested, hit me up. Just kidding. I'm not trying to get girls at a comedy show. That'd be depressing. But I think it's the funniest thing about it to me is like I know exactly when it happened. Like I remember like the feeling of this thing like forming on my testicle. Like it was like an alien like species or something like invading me. You guys know that movie Soul Surfer, where like the girl loses her arm, you know, to like the shark attack? So in my 8th grade religion class, the last week of school before graduation, my teacher's like, yeah, we're gonna watch Soul Surfer. It's like an inspirational movie or whatever. So basically, while this girl, what's her name, like Betsy, something like that. While this girl's like brutally losing her arm and stuff, I'm sitting there in agony, like, ugh! Just trying not to make a big deal about the fact that I'm going through the most immense amount of pain ever in my life. You know, like, she was losing her arm and I was losing my ability to have kids, possibly. Temporarily though, like, I can get it fixed, I think, I hope. I don't really have anything else to say, but thank you guys.
Okay, before I say what I'm about to say, I just want to let you know that I'm mentally in a good place. So before you call the suicide hotline, answer this question. Who here has anxiety? Woo! All right, I have another question. Raise your hand if you ever sacrificed physical, mental, or emotional health to overwork yourself into an extremely depressive state of mind that takes days to recover from, and hopes to be happy with the result knowing it's probably not going to be worth it in the end. Anxiety's lovely, right? I mean, you panic over the smallest things, like a piece of paper. Then you cry over it. Then you cry over a bunch of little things, like a piece of paper. And in the worst case scenario, you end your life, all because of a piece of paper. Nowadays, whenever I see a tree, I'm like, thank God you can still produce oxygen. Otherwise, I would be suffocating from a dead version of you. Now, let's see. Can that branch support my weight when I'm a Christmas ornament? It's strange. Ever since I came to Purdue, I've never actually felt anxious over academics for some reason. I mean, I'm not an engineer, so I can't really relate to that, sorry. I mean, I feel like it's too good to be true. Because usually high school brings the worst out of me because I know a lot of people and they're really smart while I'm mediocre at best. The type of anxiety I'm still facing from high school is social anxiety, which means I hate myself, and I think everyone else hates me too. I'm fine, guys. Because when I committed to Purdue, I thought it was a good idea to become more talkative and meet new people, like a normal or average person. This all happened. I was trying to build up that confidence, and I was in Maryland because I'm from Maryland. But like when I came to Indiana, all of my efforts backfired completely. I mean, it's normal when it's normal if you're going to out-of-state school, but then you're thinking, what if this guy starts the good stuff, or what if this guy has already lost their virginity, or during middle school, or what if this person watches hentai, or something like that. You guys know what hentai is, right? Woo! I don't watch it, but oh God. Gross. But really, the people I've met here are really nice, and my safety is guaranteed with them, for now. I don't know if I explicitly stated this, but I love Purdue. Woo! Before I made my final decision to go here, there was another school my parents wanted me to go to, and that was UMD. Now, I've mentioned before, I mean, like in my first performance, I'm not really a big fan of UMD. Reasons why, because it isn't just because of the food, how gross it is, or how ugly it looks because there's construction everywhere. And there's a lot of people I know and I don't really like them. While I was doing a virtual campus tour there, I was sobbing in bed because I really didn't want to go there. It's personal, but imagine if you wanted to go to an out-of-state school, then that school is better than the school that's the in-state school you want to go to, that you're supposed to go to, or usually a lot of people go to. For me, that's Purdue and UMD. While I was still waiting for my UMD application result to come out, I already got accepted into Purdue, and it just clicked. I had to go here. But waiting for the result for UMD was draining. I actually was praying to the college admissions, if I don't go to Purdue and get accepted into UMD, I will kill myself. So tread lightly. And yeah, if I really did get into UMD, I would definitely kill myself. No questions asked. But luck was on my side and I actually got rejected. So that's great. I hate that place. Sorry, hold on. I am so sorry. I mean, I've actually never been that happy about a college rejection before. I mean, I've never applied to an Ivy League, so I don't know how that feels. So yeah, although I still have problems with my anxiety and from someone who has had mental health issues since middle school, I can go ahead and say with Matt's confidence, I have issues and I hate with my life and I hate myself. Thank you, anxiety. That's it for me.
Hello. All right. My name is Nathan.
Yeah.
And as some of you know, a couple of the guys before me made some jokes about people who really love kids. Tonight, I'm going to be making jokes about people who hate kids. Me, we're going to be joking about me. So I was walking the other day to my 9:30 class at about 9:45, and I was walking by the high school track because I live off of Grant Street. And, you know, I was walking down the street, had my AirPods in, and these kids are walking the track and they start yelling at me, you know, hooting and hollering as youths do. And, you know, I'm not paying attention to them. I got a class to go to. I'm already 15 minutes late. I don't got time for this shit. They're just kids. And one of them eventually yells, "Hey, your AirPod fell out." And that's when I made my fatal mistake because my AirPods didn't fall out. So I go to instinctively check my ears and they start laughing really, really hard at me. And, you know, I'm now the butt end of like 3 inside jokes of that high school clique. So like, you know, I walk that path every day. So eventually they're gonna be there again, you know. And we all know that there's nothing more important to high school boys than their reputation amongst their peers. And I'll be there, waiting. So anyways, kids, you know, not a huge fan, but I remember when I was a kid, you know, and if anybody grew up into like a red conservative state of Indiana like I did or any other conservative state, you know what the DARE program is?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that shit. Yeah, they have police officers come in to like 2nd graders and tell you, hey, don't do drugs and don't have sex. That's a bunch of bullshit. But listen, they have you sign like an anti-drug contract. Like, yeah, I won't do drugs. Can you imagine? Like, imagine I'm just like hanging out on like a Saturday night at my own house and like some police officers bust down my door. "You're under arrest for the use and possession of marijuana." It's like, shit, they don't have the wrong guy, right? They definitely don't have the wrong guy. But like, can you imagine that next day in court, like the prosecutor holds up a piece of paper and goes, "Nathan James Dodson, did you or did you not sign this contract in 2nd grade saying you wouldn't do drugs?" It's like, motherfucker, that shit's signed in crayon. Thank you for that. That was good. But yeah, you know, the worst part was the anti-sex ones because the police officer decides to start out the morning with, "So what if," and that's the most important part is what if I were to say, "Hey, if you let me touch you, you can touch me." And you know, we're all kids and we're like, "No, absolutely not. You cannot do that." And he says, "Okay, but what if I give you this $20 bill?" And you know, we're all kids, so we go, "No!" But now as a college student, shit. That's some beer and weed money right there, man. Yeah, you know, I kind of miss being a kid, you know, because I really had like some like aspirations for life, ambitions. I wanted to be rich, wanted to be famous, wanted to leave like a mark on the world. But now, dude, after like 4 years here at Purdue and going through like the general education here in the United States, I'm like, fuck. I'd be happy if someone offered me $50K, spit in my face, and told me to go fuck myself. Yeah, like, you guys think I could call 911 and be like, "Hey, is Officer Davis still working in the Westfield Police Department? Is that $20 bill still up for grabs?" All right, thank you guys. Having a good night. Be safe.
All right. So, this is my first time doing stand-up.
Woo! Yeah! Woo! Let's go! Yeah!
This is the 8th time I've started with that line. Generally, that's about the only clap I get. So I start with that line. Big shout outs to Cooper for actually motivating me to do this. I told him that, you know, I really needed something to de-stress and like
get rid of the anxiousness out of my soul, and he told me that comedy does that for him. So I'm really excited to be here to hopefully cure my social anxiety talking in front of all of you today. There's been actually a couple times where I've been here before, and I've seen a couple people act and do their jokes and everything, and I really wanted to do it last week, or a couple weeks ago, but I chickened out. And this one chick came in here a couple weeks ago, and she did one off a 9/11 joke, and she was Muslim. And I was like, that's perfect. I wish I did that as another Muslim. The real estate for the jokes there would have been perfect. Granted, I didn't. Someone else did it earlier today, which is awesome. Well, not awesome, but awesome. Does anyone also remember the guy that did the Star Wars joke a couple weeks ago? Like, he had sex as a Star Wars trooper and got paid for it? Ain't that shit wild? Can we talk about that for a quick second? It's been on my mind for 2 weeks now. Isn't that crazy? And I thought about, I sort of kind of did that as well. I did it, but I didn't realize it at the time. She told me the day afterwards that I reminded her of Chewbacca. And I realized, I thought that was wild at first, but then I realized, it sort of makes sense because, when I came, I kind of made right afterwards. And, it really does make a lot more sense now that I think about it. Actually, that girl is my girlfriend today. She's wonderful. She's amazing. I love her to death. And, I'm happy that at the end of the day, she accepts me for the hairy human being that I am. I just wish that one day that I can, accept her for who she is. And that's not, don't get me wrong. I love her. I love her to death. She's amazing. She's wonderful. All that shabakari. But, it's just the fact that she's just white. That's not a bad thing. It's just white to the bone, man. Like, I didn't think she was at first. When I first met her, I thought she was a little Latina, which is okay, which is awesome. I love it, and she's not, which is fine. She's still white, and that's fine. And I grew to accept it, but I didn't realize how white she was until I met the rest of her family in Valparaiso. Anyone here from Valpo? Anyone? No one? Perfect. Lovely. It's a beautiful place. I personally wouldn't live there. It just felt a little too Indiana, if you know what I mean. So I was able to talk to her family, but the thing is, she warned me a little bit about them at first, and I walked up to her family into their house, and there was a couple things that kind of threw me a little off guard. One is that as I could see through the front window, there was a whole bunch of 30-year-old white women who were talking to each other, and I could tell that they were whispering, so I was talking to the manager, and she was supposed to give me a 15% discount when I was supposed to get a 30, and then I knocked on the door, and they all just stopped and looked. Like I almost committed a crime or something, and I walk in there, and they stare at me, and if this feels awkward, it was 10 times longer than that, and I started taking my shoes off, and they looked at me starting to take my shoes off, and I didn't understand the problem with that. And I slowly walk out, and they're slowly just matching their eyes with the pathway that I was going till I left the kitchen. And I just thought, you know what? That's how I was introduced to her family, which is okay. But I figured it is what it is. But then I went to the kitchen, I realized they have 3 potato salads. Why? You don't need 3 potato salads. You don't need a potato salad. One of them had cranberries in them. You don't need cranberries. I don't know why the heck you have that for your potato salad. What even is a potato salad? It should just be a potato plus the salad. Anyways. No, actually, you know what? No, one more thing. Then I realized when I looked down at the carpet, they all had their shoes on while they were there. You should. Does anyone have shoes in their house and wear them in your house? Don't. Please don't. Please, by all means, don't. Because you're going outside, and it was like an indoor and outdoor party, so they were going in and out and out and in, and I just felt like it just wasn't the right time or place to ever do it. And this was on the Sunday morning too, and they just came back from church, and these are Jesus-loving people, and I feel like if Jesus were to walk into the building, and he was to walk in the house and be like, I am here for my people, and he saw everyone wearing their shoes and getting all the carpet dirty and getting it all messed up, they would look back and be like, you know what? No, I'm not doing this. I'm going to do this next Easter, not just do this now. That is my time. Thank you, everyone. Yeah. Give it up for our next guy, people. piss and potato salads. Not cool, bro.
You okay?
Anyone here part of the 1%? Yeah? Anyone here from Palo Alto? Or Long Island? Anyone from there? No? Well, you know what they say about the 1%, right? You know what they say about the 1%? When someone enters the 1%, someone's gotta leave the 1%. Yeah, that's just how it works. So you gotta imagine it's like a lawyer. He's raking in the money, but then he gets the call from the man. He's informed that a business owner has kicked him down to the 1.01%. Boy, you ought to be pissed. But that's how it is in the 1%. Not like you'd know. Alright, well, here's my next question. Anyone here famous? Any famous guys? You're famous?
Yeah.
What do you do?
I'm a TikTok star.
Oh, you're a TikTok star.
Yeah, for sure.
You're not famous. Yeah. Get back to me when you have subscribers on YouTube. Have you never heard of Tyler Downs?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's famous. You know, it's really something to think about. Like, Purdue produced Neil Armstrong, walked on the moon, and we had Booth Tarkington. You guys know Booth Tarkington? He wrote a book. And now he has a smelly dorm named after him. He went to Purdue. We also had Jim Gaffigan went to Purdue, yeah. They're all famous, but Jim Gaffigan only went here for 1 year, so I guess he didn't like Math 162. I guess he didn't like that one. Now we have Tyler Downs, does TikTok dances, kisses older men. Yeah, look it up. This just showed up when I looked up Tyler Downs. Someone should have taught him etiquette. All right, well, here's my next question. Anyone here have a job?
Woo!
Yeah? Yeah, well, I assume if you're not a part of the 1% and you're not famous and you're at college, you probably have a job, right? Woo.